Hello, great to see you all. Got lots of people coming into the event. We'll just give it one more minute before we get going. But thank you so much for joining us. I know it's holiday week over in the States and European summer, so really appreciate you all joining. It'll be me, Sid, and Joe today taking you through everything that we've been up to this past quarter. And we've been pretty busy, so hopefully we can cover this in 30 minutes. We can run over slightly, but do want to make sure that we've got time for questions at the end. And yeah, if you need to drop off, the recording will be available after. So here goes. So we have moved these to quarterly, as you know. So last time we met, we were covering Q1. And in Q1, we deep dived into the Accrue pool, which had recently launched. And that's the pool that's providing cash advances to SMBs in the States entitled to COVID relief. And we also shared our H1 product roadmap and some of the product features that we'd been shipping, like borrower information pages and interest statements. And this time we'll follow the same sort of format. So we'll have a look back on Q2 and then we'll cast forward into Q3. And yeah, lots more to talk about this time. So let's get going. And I'm going to throw over, this is what the agenda looks like if I didn't make any sense there, but going to throw over to Sid to get us going on our commercial look back. Over to you, Sid.
Yeah, perfect. Thanks, Charlotte. So this quarter, the team was shipping. So we had two major advancements. First of these was cash management. Second was Maple Direct. Excitingly, we hit 2 billion in loans originated last month. In that time, we've served over 1,800 customers. We've grown to a 60% share of the uncollateralized loan market. And we were recognized as Newcomer of the Year and Best Place to Work. But of course, it's actually how we scale to 5, 10, and beyond in terms of billions, which is what matters most. So thanks for being part of that journey, and let's just get started. So let's go on and look at cash management. So cash management launched in April. This pool is designed to cater to liquidity, risk management, and accounting requirements of non-US DAOs, offshore companies, and Web3 treasuries. So the thing to note here is the way that cash management pool empowers lenders to access US Treasury bills as a key source of yield and collateral, next day withdrawals, and complete transparency of the collateral held in the borrower's prime brokerage account. So as of today, we've had over 21 million in USDC deposited. This has come from a mix of DAOs, high net worths, and Web3 startups. So really good traction and a great product for the Web3 community. Impressively, nearly 60% of our lenders have increased their deposit positions, and that average increase is generally about 360%. So this is showing really good negative churn and really good growth of usership there. All withdrawal requests that we've had so far have been processed within 24 hours. So participants can take advantage of market opportunities or meet their operational expenses if they do need to withdraw. But now let's hear from some of our customers. So we've got testimonials coming up from Realm and from Altitude. So who are these guys? So Realm is a leading specialty insurance carrier. They serve emerging industries, including the digital asset sector. And they're someone we're proud to partner with. And then secondly, we've got Altitude Fi here. So Altitude is a decentralized protocol on Ethereum who optimizes for collateralized lending, ensuring the lowest possible cost of borrowing, as well as generating yield from users' dormant collateral. They're currently in beta, but they do have a launch coming up on the horizon, so watch this space. Just skip a slide ahead.
We're about to share some alpha, so I'm a little bit nervous to click the slide. But this is
Go
This
for it.
is the news, guys.
So today we are very excited to announce that we will have cash management pool in USDT. So participants can now use their stablecoin of choice. The pool that was launched so far was in USDC, but we didn't want to leave a huge chunk of the market hanging. So USDT is, of course, the world's largest stablecoin. This pool will be the exact same structure as the established pool. The fee is a little bit higher at 1% annualized, just because there are swap costs associated with USDT. And then after that, as you can see at the bottom, we'll have Reg D coming. So this will be a way for us to offer the pool, which is currently restricted to offshore participants, make this available for Web3 startups, for DAOs, and for individuals who are US-based accredited investors. So very excited to broaden the offering there and serve a larger segment of the community.
Yes, very exciting. So you've got the news first, and we'll go out publicly soon. You can leak it if you want to.
Leaking alpha. And then, of course, we have the Maple Direct announcement. So this is our new direct lending arm. It's operated by the team. We're going to draw upon the Wall Street experience, Wall Street capital markets experience, I should say, of the team to bring professionally run lending strategies to the space. If we look back last year, it was the case that CeFi lenders were managing about 55 billion before a number of them exited the space. And so what that's done is it's left Web3 without a reliable source of borrowing and lending for people. What we're trying to do here with Maple Direct is step in. We want to step in, fill the gap, apply enhanced risk management. And the really important part is bring the transparency of Maple's on-chain loans here. So you never have a situation where you don't know who's borrowing from a pool, or you don't know how the loans are performing. And what we want to do is bring large-scale lending into the light here. So we're super excited about this. I'll be aiming to bring it to market towards the end of this month. With that, I think I will now pass over to Joe to give us a bit of an update on the product side.
Awesome. Thanks, Sid. All right. So the major release of Q2 from the team was open term loans. And so the new loan structure is going to expand the flexibility of the Maple platform drastically. And so the 2 billion in loans that we've originated to date has been all fixed term loans. And so by offering open term loans, we're now going to expand the flexibility of the platform, and it has been the most requested feature. And so the main reasons that it has been the most requested feature and that we're so excited to release it and have it in the hands of customers now is that firstly, pool delegates, they want more control. So they want the ability to maintain liquidity so they can meet withdrawal requests, they can manage the risk factors of their borrowers more actively, and manage pool concentration levels as well. Secondly, for lenders, we're getting lots of demand around liquidity needs. And so previously lenders with fixed term loans would have to wait until the next repayment would come through, or until that fixed term loan would come due and the principal payment would be made. But now with open term loans, they've got more certainty that a pool delegate will be able to meet their liquidity requirements, and that when they request to withdraw, those withdrawals can be met. And then finally, for borrowers, in this market, they want more flexibility. And so borrowers will be able to access both fixed term and open term loans on the platform. And so they can have a bit more of a variety to their borrowing needs. And so can work with the delegates on the platform in order to have a combination of both those open term loans now and the existing fixed term product. This will then can also be leveraged into the different types of structures that we have on the platform. So you'll see with the Maple Cash Management product that we're utilizing open term loans there. And so the flexibility that we need for 24-hour withdrawal windows can be met with this product much more easily. So it's a big operational improvement, as well as an improvement for all of the users on the platform. Then also for the Maple Direct offering that's coming soon, we'll be using open term loans there in that over collateralized fashion, which we'll get into when we discuss the Q3 roadmap. Now, Charlotte, over to you to chat governance and all the things coming at a DAO level.
Yeah, thanks, Joe. And it's really amazing to see all of the product work and commercial work just coming into light. We work on it day in, day out, but it's amazing to, well, I get the privilege of sharing it with everyone, but it's amazing to see how much we've done this quarter. We've also been working on our protocol. So you'll have seen earlier this week on Monday, we shared that we have put some thinking together in regards to how people can interact with the Maple DAO and develop it over time. If you missed it, let me just drop it in the chat here because it was the long weekend, well, 4th of July. You can read all about it there. But in principle, what we've done is gathered together ways in which people can interact with the Maple DAO. So from a principal perspective, who does what perspective, and then we've also established a few new contributors to the DAO. So we're going to be forming a council over the next coming months. We're also moving to a grant request template. So Maple core contributors will have to request quarterly spends from the DAO to be approved by the council, putting that together in a template that we've prepared as well. And we've also implemented new software. So everything that's happened from a DAO perspective on Maple to date has just been done in really janky Discord voting with 25 people to vote as a quorum. And we're better than that. We wanted our governance process to reflect our best-in-class technology. So we've adopted Snapshot and we've refreshed Discourse as well. So everyone can go on there, check out, I would say go and check out first and foremost the Discourse, the forum. You can see all of our old MIPs on there. You can see that I've posted the new governance framework, which is a very, very long document on there, and you can have a read of that. And going forward, this will be the venue wherein ideas are proposed by Maple core contributors as well as yourselves. Like it's really we're now opening up and giving a little bit more focus to the ideas that people outside of Maple have, and hopefully with this new structure we'll be able to process those in a measured way. So go check it out. I think we're really proud to share this and believe that it provides a sturdy foundation for future development. What this is now isn't what it's going to be in 6-12 months time, and that's just really exciting for us. I would note that it's not a revolution, it's an evolution of what we've had already, but you know, who knows where we're going to be with everybody else's input. So really excited to share this. More to come. I think that the first vote will likely be a tokenomics vote, but I can talk to that later on in the session. All right, so that's it for Q2. Let's look forward. Might throw back over to you, Joe, and you can talk to product.
All right, so some exciting things coming, especially for product, with the new things coming into market and the active users on the platform. And so the thing that we were alluding to before around Maple Direct is a product that we're calling internally Active Collateral Management. And so this is enabling borrowers to post their collateral into a qualified custody, and for that then to be integrated into the existing smart contract infrastructure on Maple. And so we think this is going to be the premium lending infrastructure where a borrower is able to, and the platform is able to leverage all the benefits that qualified custody provides, as well as then combining with all the benefits of our efficient, transparent, and accessible smart contract infrastructure. So Maple Direct will launch its first pool using this product, but then it'll also be available to other delegates on the platform to utilize for their various lending strategies. And so borrowers will post it. They have certainty their funds won't be rehypothecated. Lenders will have real-time transparency into the collateral asset and the value of that collateral in relation to the loan. So they've got constant collateral ratio. And so a level of transparency that we think should have existed last year with the CeFi providers, and that we can bring to market through Maple Direct and through the benefits of this on the platform in other pools. We're then going to be introducing authentication. So currently when you access the application, you only access it through your address. And so because we're an institutionally focused product and we have mainly institutions or entities accessing it, it means that they have multiple people in their organization that want to access and see things. And so this will enable people to sign in with a normal username and password or single sign-on like Google, and then be able to access the application and the different features that are there for their needs. So an analyst can come in and get an updated financial report or whatever their needs may be. And so we'll see this as the bedrock for which we'll be able to scale the application into the future. So new features that can come on top of authentication are things like notifications, the loan documents being executed in application. So it really enables a scalable platform for the application and the user experience there to be expanded and built out into the Maple ecosystem. Then leveraging on top of that, we'll be looking at global permissioning. So obviously currently we go through a KYC process with all of the users on the platform, but it's done at an individual pool level. And so what we want to introduce is the ability for a user to onboard with Maple once, and then they get access to all of the pools that they're eligible for. And then we want to bring that and expand out so that we can really scale the permissioning side of things. And so if you've been KYC'd with another KYC provider or you're accredited with another institution, we can rely on that KYC and you can be accredited and come into the Maple platform and access it without having to go through an onboarding checklist, KYC requirements again. And so if you think about the number of users on Maple today, this is really going to enable a 10x multiple to the number of institutional sophisticated investors that will be able to access the platform and the opportunities that sit there. We're then also going to be looking at LP token utility. This is a little bit more in exploration now, but especially with Maple Cash, we see the potential benefits of how we can expand the Maple LP tokens into the crypto ecosystem. So whether this is going into other walled gardens where that people can borrow against it or trade with it, but then also how it can be accessed throughout the broader DeFi ecosystem. And so we want to combine the compliance requirements and not compromise on that, but also ensure that we're maintaining the scalability and broad benefits that the crypto ecosystem allows through our LP token utility. And then finally, we're continuing to work on partnerships and integrations. And so with the exciting announcement of Cash with Direct, there's a real opportunity for us to partner and integrate with a lot more other entities, and so that their customers can access the fantastic products that are available on Maple. So they can earn the base US Treasury yield by accessing Maple Cash. They can borrow over collateralized through the Direct and other pools on the platform. And so it starts to expand our user base by having these partnerships and integrations in place. So an exciting Q3 coming up, and the team are cranking away on a lot of things, but with active collateral management release right around the corner.
Very exciting. And Sid, we've already sort of stolen your thunder by laying out what's happening from a commercial perspective this quarter, but if you want to run through and provide some detail around those.
Yeah, for sure. So commercial details. So we'll have the two new pools, of course, coming up. Maple Direct being the keynote one there. And the other goals there on the commercial side, though, are we want to expand the cash management pool. So, looking back at where we were, this time and earlier last year, we'd closed in close to that 1 billion TVL mark. And so the goal is, how do we get back to that point? So expanding the cash management pool, expanding the real world asset pool done through Accrue, and expanding the Maven 11 credit pools, as well as launching new pools. So Maple Direct is going to begin lending around the end of this month, start of the next month. And then in order to expand, we really need this kind of synergy of product enhancements along with commercial initiatives. The two need to work in tandem together. And so with that in mind, the team is going to be heading across to ECC this month. And then as we go through fall, there's going to be a lot of conferences in Asia. So we've got Korean Blockchain Week in September, Token 2049 in Singapore, and then Digi Assets as well. And then we'll be making our way back to New York and to Austin for Masari and for Permissionless towards the end of that month. So it's going to be a lot of road showing and a lot of great opportunities to meet meet our users and community in person. So really looking forward to that and really excited about it.
Excellent.
Corresponds, I think, to when the first really large run up in TVL was, which was back in September 2021. So hoping to replicate the momentum.
Yes, definitely. And I think if anyone on the call, as we go over to Asia, if there's anyone that you think that we should be meeting out there, do let us know, because keen to start making some connections over in Asia, especially at those conferences, because they're huge, but really exciting nonetheless. So, and from a protocol perspective, sort of leaned into it a little bit earlier. So now that we've got our governance framework together, that provides the foundation for lots of proposals and initiatives to start coming out. First one being tokenomics. So I know that we have been talking in the Telegram chat quite a lot about additional utility and ideas around that. And so we have something drafted currently, and we are aiming to share that in the coming weeks. And that will look like an article as well as an initial proposal on discourse, which would then follow the framework that we've set out in the process document and move through consultation, then through to a formal MIP, and then ultimately a vote with Snapshot. So please do wait for the updates, but get familiar with Snapshot and discourse so that that can be a really successful first vote with using this new framework. It would make me really proud. I'm really happy. So please do that. And what else? And then we've just got partnerships. So sort of leaning into what Jay was talking to in connecting Maple with the wider Web3 ecosystem. At any opportunity, we would be promoting those partnerships and celebrating those. So do watch this space for more comms around those partners coming soon. We have reached the end of the slides, and we're on to Q&A. So just can't see any questions. And there's no questions in the chat either. This might be the first time that we don't have any questions, but if you do, then write those out now and we can cover them. I think maybe it's because we don't have Cosmo on the call. What do you think? We'll have to ping him to make sure he attends these.
Yes, I was going to say the changing factor was no Cosmo. No Cosmo, no questions. But I see that we do have one from Tim. So I'll just read it out for the benefit of everyone who is watching. So I'm a retail guy. I was lending on Maple back in 2021 in the bull days of Ethereum. High gas fees used to eat significantly into yields. Do you have any plans to restart Solana, I should say? It's a good point. Gas fees can be quite high. We have tried to address that through code updates that try to compress and get more gas efficient, but it's still something to contend with. So with Solana at the moment, we have been kind of actively evaluating it, whether we would do anything there based on TVL. At the moment, the intent is still to keep that paused, but we are conscious of gas fees, and so we're also looking at some of the L2 solutions out there as a way to offer users lower gas fees. So we've been in talks with most of the L2s, and we're not ready to make any announcements there yet, but it's something that we do keep an eye on. So if we do see that starts to tick up and be more of a problem, it's absolutely something we would evaluate.
There's a question around the qualified custodians that we're using, and we've actually not shared who we're developing partnerships with the Maple Direct pool just yet. I have the privilege of arranging those announcements, so we're working on those in the background at the moment, but leading custodians that are very exciting, but don't want to spoil the fun by sharing.
And just to expand on that, the product's also built in a way where we can integrate with multiple custodians, and so it's not that we're picking one and then it's limited to that. And so we'll be able to integrate with multiple and therefore get access to multiple customer bases. And so custodians are very much jurisdictionally focused. So you've obviously got the likes of BitGo, Coinbase, Anchorage here in the US, but then there's a whole world of custodians out throughout Europe and Asia. And so we see this as a real benefit to say, here's a borrow lend product out of the box with smart contract infrastructure, and we can integrate with you so that your customers can access it.
I can see one more question there from Florent. So how do you ensure withdrawal liquidity for lenders? How do you force borrowers to repay if a lender wants to withdraw? So this is the benefit of open term loans. So when a loan is on on open term rather than fixed term, the delegate can request with repayment, and then that needs to occur within whatever time frame is set. So this could be 48 to 72 hours. And then that means that the borrower can repay partially or fully the amount, and then it'll be available for the lenders to withdraw during the next withdrawal window opening. So this is really important for asset liability matching and ensuring that we don't have assets, i.e. the loans that are out 6 or 12 months, and people who want to withdraw next week or next month. So that was a really important value that's been provided by the open term loan update during the quarter. I can see we've got a couple of other questions. So how's the Maple runway into mid 2025, assuming no revenue? I can see we've also got a question on the qualified custodian. So Charlotte's already addressed that. And I think that's it actually for the questions so far.
Question, and it was more of an informational question. What does Reg D mean?
Oh yes, I can answer that one. So given the uncertainty around the regulatory environment, it's not clear that there's going to be any registration available for crypto assets in the near term. So the alternative that's available is that you can make offerings which are exempt from registration requirements, provided that they meet certain criteria. Reg D is one of the main ones, and that's used where you want to deal with onshore US persons who would be accredited investors. So this means you have to comply with requirements to verify that they're an accredited investor, provide disclosure in the form of like a prospectus or a private placement memorandum or an information memorandum. And that ensures that you could make an offering, take in an accredited investors without going through a registration process. Reg S is the other common one that's used quite frequently, but that is restricting it to people who are offshore from the US.
That's it. And then I think we've got one final question in here. Has the team considered adding support for embedded wallets on the platform for users?
I'm sure the answer is yes for that one. Joe might be able to elaborate on it more, but I think we have been looking at how we would do wallet infrastructure.
Yes, something that's been in a little bit of exploration, but obviously something that's a little bit new. But as we're thinking about authentication, global permissioning, these are kind of all wrap into the same bucket, and how we can improve the user experience as much as possible and the accessibility of the platform overall. And so something that we'll continue to explore and is in our exploration portion of our product roadmap.
All right. Thanks, guys. And thanks for those questions. They came in thick and fast at the end, and we do appreciate them. I think we can wrap up right on time, which never happens. So yeah, so that's great. So thank you everyone for joining. You can rewatch this via the same link, and we'll be sharing the official USDT pool launch shortly. But thanks again for joining, and we'll see you again next time.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks all. Have a great day. See ya.
Thanks.